Hello everyone, my name is Pavlo, I'm a musician, I play trombone. So in the last video I explained how did I move to Japan and why did I move to Japan. And in this video I will explain what did I do for the last almost 3 years in Japan, where did I work, and what am I doing now. So in the previous video I explained about my audition and moving process to Japan. So in the last almost 3 years, I worked full-time in 2 professional orchestras in Japan. First one was Hyogo Performing Arts Center Orchestra that I made audition in Germany. So yeah, after I moved to Japan, I started working full-time in this orchestra. And this orchestra, as I said before, is a very unique place because it's not like any other orchestra in Japan. They are focused of having so many foreigners and especially young people. I think most of the members in that orchestra are in their 20s, something like after university age. And of course it's a full-time orchestra, but also having the kind of supporting system as academy. So if you want to go for competition audition, have masterclass, they give a support, like even financial support for that. So yeah, after being a few months in that orchestra, I found audition in Tokyo, and I used that system, I used that support that they gave, and I took that audition. So to say, like, Hyogo Performing Arts Center is in Hyogo Prefecture, so it's next to the Osaka, next to the Kobe, Kansai area. And audition I was planning to take was in Tokyo, the orchestra called Pacific Philharmonia Tokyo. So yeah, I took that audition. I remember it was December, so I started in September and it was December. Audition was in December 2023, I guess. Yeah, I went to Tokyo. Audition was 2 days, first round and second round, and after a couple of days they called me and offered to have a third round, final round, which is like during the next half a year I have to attend several numbers of projects to play as a guest player. So it's still not trial, it's like third round. I took that offer, and in the next half a year I played in my orchestra in Hyogo and traveled every month to Tokyo to play these projects. And after that, after I worked 1 year in my orchestra in Hyogo, I decided to quit it because I passed my final round and they offered me to start actual job in Tokyo as a principal trombone of Pacific Philharmonia Tokyo. So yeah, I worked exactly 1 year in Hyogo, and then I quit that orchestra and moved to Tokyo to start my job. So yeah, starting working in Tokyo was a very different experience for me from previous orchestra, because in previous orchestra almost all the process, like management and stuff, were in English because so many foreigners and it was just not common in Japan at all. So it's very unique orchestra, as I said. So my next orchestra was like very not like that. So, yeah, it was very tough first half a year because it's my trial. It's a little bit, I was so nervous all the time, and my Japanese level was so low, and you have to understand what colleagues say, you have to understand what most of the conductors say, and it was pretty difficult. And also not only about Japanese language, but also about kind of reading the air, understanding what's going on around, because people don't say many things. You have to understand and be aware what's going on around. It was most tiring process for me. So my trial was half a year, and I passed it. Yeah, also I quit my previous orchestras because I could not make at the same time, of course, my previous orchestra and trial in another orchestra. So I quit that, start my trial, and then after my trial passed, after half a year, I start full-time position. Yeah, as I said, it was not easy. The schedule was not that much crazy busy, but communication and in general cultural differences, reading air, this kind of things made me so tired. But anyway, it was good opportunity to learn all of the things, you know. So shortly after I worked about half a year in that position, something happened on a top management level that me and few other members decided to quit the orchestra. So unfortunately, I cannot say details about the situation, but it was so hard to take the decision, and yeah, that protest took so long time to decide and properly leave that orchestra. Anyway, so I worked there for about 1 year and a half in total. Yeah, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, with the trial and then and also final I played. So around 1 year and a half I worked in the Pacific Philharmonia Tokyo. I had also experience playing as an extra player, as an invited player in few other Japanese orchestras. It was always fun experience to me. But full-time positions I had only two. And the most important thing for me, so after quitting Pacific Philharmonia Tokyo, it was a difficult time, but at the same time, I started to see so many things much more clear about myself. Because when you're a full-time orchestra member, from my experience, you are in a bubble that you're surrounded by your colleagues, and I must say, like, so many of my colleagues were amazing musicians, and I'm really glad I've worked with these people. But at the same time, you're surrounded by a bubble that, as any profession actually, any work, any corporate job, anything, you're surrounded by people that believe in that idea. And so from now on, I'm gonna say like a metaphor. It's a very abstract thing. For example, you join some tea making factory and you go there every day, you are making tea and you try to do it better. You try to respect your colleagues, you try to, be in the process, and then you realize, and at the same time, you're realizing all the time that you like to drink coffee, but you're going for tea factory all the time, every day, and you are in a bubble, tea lovers bubble, that everyone tells you like, oh, tea is very good, you have to drink tea, drinking tea is the best thing, and you have to try to reach the best tea company. Once you get the universe level tea company, everything will be fine. And same with the orchestral experience for me. Well, I always had feeling that thing doesn't give me energy. That thing is not what I really would love to do. That thing so it's not the process what makes me feel alive. Let's say like this. And of course, there are many reasons, like you are full-time in the orchestra, you get your salary, also your social level is like high because you have position, principal trombone of some orchestra, it's a very good thing for society, but always I was like asking myself, am I doing right thing? And if you look around, people say, yeah, it's a very good thing, continue doing that, yeah, but something inside didn't let me relax on this topic. And after quitting the orchestra, I can finally realize it more clear that I should more focus about things that makes me feel alive, things that I'm interested in, and things that, gives me energy. All last years I had this kind of feeling, but because you're in a bubble, you cannot fully trust this feeling, because everyone around you is like, oh yeah, it's good, yeah, you have to try being in the orchestra, you have to try play that audition, you have to once you win audition for Universal Philharmonic Orchestra, you will be fine. I always didn't like this idea, but after I could try it literally, being full-time in the orchestra, I could realize it more clear to me. I don't think I would decide to quit the orchestra if something would not happen with the top management in that orchestra. So it's kind of outside situation made me quit orchestra, and then I could realize this thing more clear to me. Also, this video, I'm asking myself, why am I talking to this camera here? I feel nervous. It's awkward to sit here and talk to the camera. Just go practice. Why are you talking, But I think it's very important to talk about it and be open about this topic. First of all, with myself. I don't say I realize something 100% or no orchestra anymore or something like this. No, just little small voice inside of me that would help me realize it should work a little bit different for me. So yeah, now I don't have full-time position and I have a lot of time working on my own projects. Have some collaborations with different artists. Sometimes also working as a freelancer, as a extra player in some orchestras when they ask me. Yeah, I know what I say now, it's my subjective point of view, and many people might not agree with that, but on the end, this experience in professional orchestras helped me to understand a little bit better who I am, and I hope I can continue the self-discovering process through my experience and new future projects as an artist. So it was my story about my work in Japan. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or if you want me to talk about any other topic, please leave the comment. Yeah, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.